All right, boys and girls, my previous video got cut off. So instead of starting over, I'm just going to continue where I left off, okay? So I apologize for that. So we ended up here where we ended up with 1 minus cosine squared of 2x over 4. Okay, and so we need to get rid of the square because remember, we're reducing all powers. So we cannot have any power greater than 1. So now looking at this one, we're actually going to be applying again the power reducing property. Okay, so ready? In order for me to do this, I'm actually going to separate it so you could see it a little bit better. So I'm going to write it as I'm going to rewrite it. See how they're both under 4? So I'm actually going to factor out the 1/4, okay, by doing this. And so now I'm going to have 1 minus cosine of squared of 2x. Remember, we're not squaring the angle, we're squaring cosine, okay? And I did this on purpose. See, now again, if you just distribute, you're going to get the same thing, okay? Because cosine here has a power of 2, so we're going to get rid of it. So we're going to be applying, ready? The property of 1 plus cosine of 2u over 2, okay? Now, u is the angle, and if you look here, your angle is 2x. So I'm going to erase that, and I'm going to write 2x, okay? Because remember, u is just an angle. Now, this is a double angle, so instead of me writing 2x, I'm going to multiply it by 2. So now this is going to become 4x. Okay? And again, this is one of the power reducing formulas, okay? If you're not sure what I did, you have to look at the power reducing formula. Okay, so take your time. Now, this is no longer square, okay? Remember, we're using the power property. 1 plus cosine of 2u over 2. And u was our angle. U was 2x. Okay, so that's just me writing this one. Okay, so don't forget, and I'm going to put this in parentheses, we have minus 1, and I'm going to put the brackets because then we have the 1/4 out here. Okay, now I'm running out of room down here, so I'm going to grab my other whiteboard. Okay, so now I'm going to simplify inside the parentheses. So look at what I'm going to do. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to distribute that negative, okay? So if I distribute the negative, I get negative 1 minus cosine of 4x. And both of these are under 2, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to separate them, okay? And then, of course, we have the 1 in front, and then we have the 1/4, okay? And the reason why I separate them is because we have a fraction here and then we have a whole number here. And you guys, if we want to combine them or simplify them, we need to have all fractions, right? So I'm going to rewrite this one. Okay. I'm going to rewrite 1 as 2 over 2. And remember, 2 over 2 is the same as 1, but the reason why I chose 2 is to have common denominator. Okay. So 2 over 2 minus 1/2 minus cosine of 4x over 2, okay? And now remember, we have 1/4. Well, previously I had pulled out the fraction of 1/4. So now if you notice, they all have a fraction or a denominator of 2. So what I can do is I can pull out 1/2 as well. I can pull that out. So what I would have now is 1/4 and then 1/2. And then basically now I have 2 minus 1 minus cosine of 4x, okay? Because I pulled out that 1/2. And now I'm going to simplify this. So now that I pulled out the 1/2 and the 1/4 from previous, I can have 1/8. 2 minus 1 will give me 1 minus cosine of 4x. And oops, let me lift that up. Now, and this is going to be my final answer. I no longer have any power that is greater than 1, okay? And I've simplified it as much as I can. So this is what we're left with, okay? Just be careful in this one. I would say out of all 4 examples, this is probably the hardest because you have to constantly reduce your powers. I would just say take your time, try not to skip any steps, and just be careful with what you're squaring. Remember, we're squaring the trig functions, not our angles. Okay, so just be careful with that. Don't skip any steps, I would say, for this one. Okay, take your time. So I'm going to have you guys try the checkpoint, check your answers, and if you have any questions, come back in the chat. And you have enough examples now to do all of day 1's homework, okay? All right, boys and girls, good luck.